Alright, welcome to what will be YouTube episode number 3 for the suspension. This episode will be our full complete front suspension for the GQ, everything from the gearbox crossmember forward. So it'll be basically the same as the rear. We'll pull everything out, clean up the chassis, and then start putting everything in. We've got our nice GU front diff housing ready to go. Unfortunately, I don't have my front long arms yet, so we can't put my radius arms in. So we're gonna put everything together up until the point of doing front radius arms, and then when they come during the week, I can put them in as well. Our garage is looking a lot cleaner now, less busy, less stuff, which is nice. We've got drag link here, panhard, front tail shaft, shocks, the tie rods on the front diff already, coils, hubs, steering damper, resi mounts, bump stops, towers, etc. All our hardware and stuff. And the rear diff's gone because it's in the car, and the front diff is up the driveway with the car. So the garage is looking pretty empty. I'll give you a little bit of a idea as to what you'll be getting next. There you go, that's all you'll be seeing. All I'll say is it looks amazing and I'm very happy. And then we've got the wheels and tires for the front of the car ready to go on. They are some nice looking coil towers. So, as you can see, we've got the front diff here, ready to go. Everything is on, brake lines, tie rod, all the bearings and everything. The only thing we need to do is tighten the wheel bearings. So I'm just gonna wait till I can put a wheel on the car to do that. That way I can actually feel it properly. I don't like doing it on jack stands. The diff wants to move and it's a bit risky, to be honest. So that's sorted and that looks great. With the plus 30 shock towers, the pin for the shock at the top comes a little bit far up and it touches the body. So I've drilled about a 1-inch hole. I'll show you that, just so that that pin doesn't rub on the body. And for the front, everything's kind of just bolt in. So it's pretty simple, not gonna lie. You can see I've got a bit of a collection of stock parts now. 2 rear GQ diff housings, front one's got to come out. Springs, shock towers, arms, mud flaps, gearbox crossmember, etc. Front diff center's out. I've got it sitting on one of the wheels here. Came out pretty easy. All the bolts came off it, and you can see the car's sitting on jack stands, and we've got a trolley jack holding the gearbox up. If we come under, you can see everything looks fantastic and new, which is nice. How good are those shock towers? Not a single bit of pitting or rust. Great example of a GQ. Even on the other side here, looks fantastic. Super happy. Even underneath the car, you can see now basically the whole thing is done. The only dirty part's the sump on the motor now and the gearbox. Maybe we'll get this dry ice blast in the future. Our inner guards and everything look great. Through the bottom of our shock tower, you can see that hole I've put. So it's it's about a 1-inch hole. And it's kind of perfectly in the middle of those other holes, so the pin for the shock can poke through. It literally only pokes through about the tiniest bit, but I'd just rather have that than have it rub and squeak. So last night after I finished the front of the car, getting it ready, I was lucky enough to have the boys carry the front diff up the driveway for me. It's not that heavy when you have like 6 people carrying it, thankfully. So it's sitting here on the trolley jacks now, so I can squeeze it under the car and start assembling some stuff. Extended shock towers. These are Superior plus 30s, so no cutting to the body required apart from the little hole for the pin of the shock, depending on what shock you run though. And lastly, superior remote resi brackets in silver. All right, now let's do the same on the other side. Thank you. That is a lot of tail shaft. So, as some of you may be aware, we've had a gigantic delay on these arms. It's actually been 2 weeks since we put the front diff and everything else in the car. So the car's been sitting on the driveway for 2 weeks waiting for just these arms. But they're here now, so we can put it together. We've got our PSR front long arms painted silver to match the rest of the suspension. So no, these are not superior arms, even though they look like superior arms. And then with the superior front long arms, you get the entire gearbox cross member and their drop boxes to suit. So this is the gearbox cross member, 10mm thick plate, so it's kind of heavy. And then these are the drop boxes specifically for the long arms because it puts them 300mm further back. So the car's kind of going to look like this with front and rear long arms, which is cool. All of our hardware and then just the remaining stuff, which is basically just shocks and coils, which are up with the car. So we can stop stuffing around and put them in so I can drive this car. I've been waiting too long. Drop box number 1. These things are so heavy, man. Yeah, so these things are bloody heavy. Like, I'm pretty sure they'd be almost 30 kilos each, maybe a little less. But they're lined up now, they just gotta go up, probably put a trolley jack on the pinion of the diff, push that up, put those bolts in, but not too hard really. Alright, so we've got the steering dampener on, panhard and drag leaker on, the drag link is tightened and adjusted, so is the panhard, and the split pins are in the drag link and the tie rod. Radius arms are in, bolts are fully tight, and our shocks and coils are all in. So that pretty much concludes all of it. Front long arms are so bloody long. They look good though. The gearbox cross members all tight, everything's done. I just need to fix up that the gearbox breather there. I actually had to go buy a 14mm Allen key to tighten these bolts because that's giant. I only had a 12, and tie rod setup, split pins are all in it, and that is adjusted. I adjusted that in the garage while the diff was on the jack stands. And if we have a look here, you can see I've got all the spacers in here, and the bigger washer is on the front side. So that allows me to push this all the way forward. Gives me as much gap here as I can get. That way I won't need to cut this at all. So these arms are all the way forward. That's probably an extra 20mm. And then the rear is 15mm further back. So that's 35mm track extension, I guess you could say. Absolute crazy amount of cali lean. That will come down when the bull bar goes on. And those are actually only 2-inch rear coils because my 3-inch ones are too big at the moment without the rear bar or anything. It just looks ridiculous. So as soon as I get that quarter chopped and the rear bars on, the 3-inch ones will go in. That'll jump up a little bit, but the 3 inches are just too much at the moment. But it looks good. I just need to give the brakes one more bleed and then it's pretty much ready to drive. There's already oils in it and everything. So we'll go for a drive, adjust those shocks, bleed the brakes, and then the front can go on, but that will be next episode. All right, thank you for watching this episode of YouTube. This is a pretty good episode. I'm pretty happy. The car's finally lifted, which I'm stoked about. I've been missing the lift and tires for a while. And as you can see, the front end has progressed. Headlights and grille are on. So the bull bar is going to go in, but you got to wait till next episode for that. But lucky for you, by the time this episode's out, you probably have already seen the bull bar and stuff on Instagram. So if you haven't, you can go look at that. Otherwise, you've seen it. Next episode is the whole front end. So you watch me put all of this on and the bull bar. Basically everything for the front of the car. And then after that, we're hopefully going to start the rear of the car, rear end, rear bar, quarter chop, etc. Thanks for watching.